Mitch Blaschke, an important part of the gold mining operations, has suddenly quit Parker's team on the hit TV show Gold Rush. But why did they leave so quickly? Was this a choice you made for yourself or a task at work? Come along with us as we try to figure out why Mitch left and solve the puzzle. What does this really mean for Parker Schnabel's group? Is Mitch's absence going to leave a hole that can't be filled? Let's find out. Mitch Blaschke has made a permanent mark on Gold Rush, and his name and face are now recognizable to fans all over the world. His first job on the show was with Todd Hoffman's team, where his understanding of mechanics and ability to solve problems made him stand out right away. But Mitch's move to Parker Schnabel's team really showed off his amazing skills and solidified his place as an important player in the gold mining industry. Parker's operations have been very successful thanks to Mitch's ability to solve difficult problems. Despite Mitch's important role on Parker's team, Gold Rush fans are starting to think that he might be leaving. Fans were both excited and worried when they heard he was leaving, which made them look more closely at how his loss might affect the show. Mitch's technical skills are truly impressive, especially considering he is only 34 years old. If Mitch left Parker's team, it would be hard to find someone with his unique set of skills and ability to solve problems. Many fans are wondering what Mitch will leave behind as they guess where he will go next. Mitch has done a lot more for Gold Rush than just fix things. He's become a sign of hard work, creativity, and dedication. Whether he stays or leaves, Mitch Blaschke will be remembered as a great Gold Rush genius. People know him as an expert with a lot of experience, especially when it comes to handling the complicated heavy equipment used in mine. Mitch is an important part of the team because he can think quickly and solve problems quickly. This is especially true given the high standards needed to operate heavy equipment in the mining business. Mitch's co-workers depend on his skills and know that he can get things done even when things get tough. Mitch is Parker Schnabel's right-hand man, which is one of his most important roles on the show. Parker knows how important it is to have someone like Mitch on his team because he is known for being a great leader and manager of strategy. It's really amazing how well Mitch can deal with problems and change his approach to fit the needs of the mining operations. He has shown many times that he can do well under pressure, which makes him an important part of Parker's team. Parker is known for giving his employees tasks that seem difficult to complete and pushing them to their limits. In these situations, though, Mitch's presence on the team has been helpful. His toughness and adaptability mean that he can handle any issue that comes up, no matter how tough it seems. Mitch is also great at working with others, and he and his teammates can easily solve any problems that come up during mining activities. His quick thinking and original ideas have saved the team more than once. Mitch always finds a way to get things done, whether it's fixing a broken piece of gear or coming up with a better way to get gold out of the ground. Mitch Blaschke is on Parker Schnabel's team, which has caught the attention of Gold Rush fans. Many are starting to wonder why Mitch hasn't gone out on his own yet, given his vast experience and great track record in the mining business. Mitch's skills make it seem like he could easily run his own mining operations, which makes people wonder what he wants to do in the future. Even though everyone is excited about Mitch's possible solo mining business, he doesn't seem interested in starting his own mining company. Some people think Mitch could do well on his own, but others are worried about the problems he might face if he wants to go it alone. Mitch's choice to stay with Parker's team could be due to a number of factors, such as his dedication to the group and satisfaction with his current role. Also, there are a lot of problems in the mining business, and starting a new mining company from scratch is not easy. Mitch might choose the safety and support that come with being part of a well-known group like Parker's over the risks that come with starting his own business. Fans have different ideas about Mitch's future in the mining business, though. Some people think he should take the chance to run his own mining business, while others think he should stay with Parker's team. There are many different points of view, but one thing is certain. Mitch's choice will have a big effect on his mining future. Mitch Blaschke's important work for Parker Schnabel's team has been noticed, and there are many rumors about the big pay he supposedly gets for all his hard work, an important part on the team. It's not a surprise, given how hard he works and how good he is at what he does. The fact that he owns a collection of high-end race cars and regular cars shows how successful he is in the field and provides further financial security. There are still rumors about Mitch going into business for himself, which could mean a short drop in his income. However, Mitch's commitment to his job and proven track record show that success is well within reach, no matter what path he ultimately chooses. Parker Schnabel is a smart business owner who knows how important it is to develop and promote key team members while also making the workplace friendly and diverse. Mitch Blaschke's choice to join Parker's team in Season 5 changed everything, and he has been giving consistently great performances ever since. Parker Schnabel is a great leader because he can listen to and value his team members' feedback. He knows that their different points of view are important for coming up with new ideas and being successful. This way of thinking has created a lively environment where people like Mitch feel free to share their unique skills and thoughts, which has made their mining operations more productive and efficient. However, new information confirms that Mitch Blaschke has quit Parker Schnabel's team, ending their successful partnership. People who know about the situation say that Mitch made the hard decision to quit the team in search of new opportunities and to build his own mining career. When Mitch went up to Parker one morning in the quiet privacy of their homemade camp to explain his choice, that was the turning point. Mitch, with a heavy heart, told the team that he wanted to leave, which would have huge effects on how they worked. Even though the situation was very bad, Mitch was thankful for the time he spent with Parker's crew and the important lessons he learned along the way. It was clear that Parker was shocked and sad when Mitch left. After working together for a while, Mitch had become more than just Parker's boss. He had become his guide and friend. Parker was let down by Mitch's decision, but he knew how important it was to back Mitch in his new endeavor and pushed him to reach his goals. When Mitch Blaschke left, it was the end of an era for Parker Schnabel's powerful crew. Mitch is getting ready to start a new part of his life, but Parker's crew and their mine work will still be going on without him. His leaving will probably leave a hole in both technical knowledge and the unity among co-workers that Mitch was known for building. The early rumors that Mitch Blaschke was leaving Parker Schnabel's team caused suspicion and controversy, especially because of something important that happened last season. Mitch started working as a mechanic when he was 14 years old. He started at a repair shop. Even though Mitch didn't have any official training, he was very good at what he did and never gave up. He became a self-taught mechanic and improved his skills to an amazing level. He first appeared on Gold Rush in Season 3, when he joined Todd Hoffman's team and showed how smart he was at fixing things and how well he could think things through. In later seasons, Mitch's move to Parker's team was easy because he continued to show how skilled he was and do amazing things with his mechanical knowledge. Mitch's most important job on Parker's team was to oversee the wash facilities and make sure they worked well so they could produce the most gold. Parker's operations were very successful because of how strict he was and how much he paid attention to detail. In Season 9, however, tragedy struck when Mitch broke his arm in a boat accident with Parker. Mitch was still eager and motivated to keep helping the team succeed, even after the setback. His path to healing showed how strong he was as a person and how dedicated he was to his job. The crash during the boat accident caused a lot of worry about Mitch Blaschke's health and how it would affect the final gold totals for the season. A witness to the accident, Zach Smith, talked about how hard it was for Mitch on the way back to camp after the accident. A lot of people were not sure if Mitch would be able to heal fast enough to keep helping Parker's team at his present level. Mitch once again proved his worth to Parker's team by fully healing and going back to work at his best, even though he had broken his arm. It was clear that he was determined and willing to get through hard times as he dealt with his injuries and then went back to work with the same level of dedication and knowledge as before. Parker Schnabel was sorry about what happened and was glad to see Mitch back at work. His help has been very important in keeping things running easily. For example, when he followed Parker and helped bring in $400,000, how much gold it is. Mitch's skills and drive have always been what have made the team successful. When Parker and his crew focused on an old mine site in Alaska, Mitch's role became even more important. Parker's desire to go on this adventure with Mitch shows that he trusts Mitch's skills. Parker said that he chose that ground because it was new and had a lot more gold than other mines. Parker made the right choice because he had already drilled supports through thick clay-pack land and made 4 times as much money as he claimed in Yukon. Even though Mitch designed a wash plant just for the historic mine site in Alaska, it turned out that regular digging would not be possible this time after a 4-month delay. But the claim owner, Alora Reeves, who is John Reeves' daughter, and her husband Drew, stayed positive. They thought that this good land could still save the season. It was clear to Alora that there was a lot of gold nearby. The team was led deeper into the claim by Alora to study an area that was mined in the 1800s. The old miners had drilled shafts through concrete that went up to 100 feet deep and reached the rock above. Next, they dug horizontally, pulling gold to the surface and washing it through rough sluice boxes. In their haste, they left some of the gold they had found behind. This old method of mine worked very well for Parker's crew, showing that there was still gold to be found that hadn't been touched. The team's research into the area led to positive results, which made them even more determined to make the most of the season on this important ground. Even though there was a problem with the wash plant at first, Mitch's knowledge and the team's persistence helped them solve new issues and make the most of the mine site's rich history. Parker's crew found a way to make money when they realized that the old miners may have left gold in their trash. This meant that the area could be dug quickly and effectively once the team's wash plant arrived. While Parker and Mitch worked on their goal, Tyson Lee ran their other wash plant, Big Red, for the week. The mine manager had high hopes for Big Red because he thought it could make 1.8 ounces of gold every hour. This wash plant worked for 90 hours, making about 1,600 ounces of gold over the course of a week. Everyone was shocked when Big Red made an amazing $224.50 worth of coins. Mitch was a foreman and a mechanic for Parker's gold mine business. He was very important to the business, but he had also had his share of problems. This is what makes Mitch unique, though. He can stay cool when he loses. This was shown when he saw one of the biggest machines break down and still managed to make an amazing recovery, which made Parker a lot of money. Parker was getting ready to go to Alaska to finish plans for a mining claim. Before he left, he met with Mitch Blaschke, who was his trusted right-hand man, at the mine to talk about the wash plants and make sure everything was working right. Mitch told Parker that both of the wash plants were doing a great job. Danger did get in, though, after Parker had left. Even though he had told Parker earlier that everything was fine, Mitch quickly realized that one of the wash plants had broken down. This unexpected fall was bad news because it could stop mining from happening. Mitch, who was in charge of Parker's whole staff, worked quickly to get the wash plants up and running. Because he knew how to use the tools, the failure of the super stacker, which was an important part of sluicing for gold, was even more surprising. The group was just about to start working when this machine broke down, making the problem even more urgent. Mitch's plan to get the most gold out of the mine each week rested on the super stacker, which worked well with the sluicer and Big Red to separate gold from other stuff. But the sudden halt of the super stacker messed up their plans and put their weekly goals at risk. Mitch knew things were going to go wrong when the super stacker stopped working. If they don't repair the equipment on time, they may not be able to make as much gold each week. Mitch sprang into action, wanting to fix the gear and get it back to work as soon as possible. The problem started when Alec, one of Parker's crew workers, tried to set the super stacker at the best angle for feeding pay dirt to sluicer. At first, the machine worked great, making the crew shout. The team was happy at first, but it didn't last long because the machine suddenly stopped working, which made everyone unhappy. When the machine stopped all of a sudden, it caught Alec off guard. He rushed to check it out and saw a leak. Alec knew what was going on was bad and told himself, "It's bad news." Yes, things were very bad. The machine's breakdown would cause downtime, which would lower the amount of gold produced each week. Not only would they lose gold, but they would also waste important work time trying to fix the problem. Alec came to the conclusion that the super stacker had broken the stopper off the cylinder, which was what caused the leak. The plug that was meant to hold the oil in place finally broke, which caused a lot of trouble. In an effort to fix the issue, Alec tried to raise the super stack. This step, however, turned out to be wrong because the top of the plug that sealed the cylinder came off. What started out as a simple problem with some tools got worse over time. The fact that Mitch wasn't there when the problem happened made it even more important to act quickly. It became clear to the team that they had to act quickly to fix the super stacker while keeping the damage to their mining operations to a minimum. We needed to fix the problem and get the super stacker back up as soon as possible, and Mitch's information would be very helpful. The situation got more complicated when they realized Parker might come back and find that the equipment wasn't working. Mitch didn't know about the problem, so he came to the spot ready to face the day's challenges. But his happiness turned to sadness right away when Alec told him the machine wasn't working. When Mitch heard the news and understood how bad things were, his face fell. Even though he had a lot of ideas, the job at hand was clear: fix the super stacker. Alec took Mitch to look at what was going on, and as they looked at the damage, he felt hopeless. Alec said over and over that things were bad to stress how serious the problem was. During the process, everything stopped because a small plug wouldn't work right. It became very important to find a new plug, but it was hard to do. There were no extra plugs in the mine area, and it didn't look like they could be found in a nearby town. It was scary to think that such a small part could stop their whole business. Alec didn't know what to do, so he went to Mitch and trusted that his experience would solve the problem. Mitch had to come up with a solution that worked with the resources they had at the time. Mitch quickly came up with a plan and used his smarts to carry it out. He told them to get a plug from one of the rock trucks that wasn't working that were spread out across the mine site. Mitch and Alec quickly went outside to find a truck that would work for them. They finally found an old truck that looked like it might work. When Mitch and Alec got to the car, they took out the engine right away to get to the plugs. The broken plug was very small, so they had to find one that was the same size. Most of the plugs they found, though, were too big for what they needed. It became clear that many parts of the car had been taken off, and Mitch confirmed that the parts had been used to fix other things before. But even though the truck can't work, its parts might still be useful for fixing other machines. It was like trying to find a needle in a haystack, trying to find the right plug. They kept looking, though, and carefully checked each plug they came across. Alec finally found a plug that looked like it would work and started to loosen it. Even though they worked hard to get the plug back, they were disappointed that it was too big to use at this time. When Alec was getting more and more unhappy and looked like he was about to give up, Mitch's leading skills really shined. He told Alec to keep looking and stressed how important it was for them to keep looking. Even though things didn't go as planned, Mitch stayed positive and determined to find a solution. Mitch looked at other tools in the area. After realizing that the old truck wasn't working the way he wanted it to, he looked around and found a drilling machine that had too much hydraulics, which pointed to a possible source for the plug that was needed. They went up to the drill machine with newfound hope, hoping to find the plug. There was another disappointment in their hopes when they looked at the drill machine and saw plugs that were too big for their needs. It was clear they were upset, but Mitch told them to keep looking. He knew that giving up wasn't a choice. It was clear that Mitch was determined as he pushed Alec to keep looking. They looked at each machine carefully in the hopes of finding a plug that was the right size. After what seemed like an endless search, they finally found a device that looked like it might work. Rocks had been moved with this old system of belts carrying things. Mitch and Alec looked at the gear very carefully, hoping to find a plug that would work. When Alec found a plug that looked like it was the right size, all of their hard work paid off. He held his breath as he tried to take out the plug, hoping that it would fit perfectly. To their joy and happiness, the plug came out easily, and when they looked more closely, they saw that it was exactly the right size. Mitch and Alec rushed back to the super stacker to plug it in. Mitch's quick thought, ability to lead, and unwavering drive saved the day once more, letting the mining operation start right away. As the plug started to slide into place, Mitch's face relaxed. It made him feel so good to know that all of their hard work and patience were paying off. On the other hand, Alec was cautious and waited for Mitch's okay before claiming victory. Mitch checked the plug's fit again to make sure it was tight and in the right place. He gave a happy nod to show that he agreed that the plug did fit properly. Alec couldn't hold back his happiness any longer. He let out a sigh of relief and smiled. For finishing the job ahead of time, Mitch and Alec gave each other a short high five. The workers could get back to work as planned now that the machine was back in working order. After fixing the super stacker and stopping the oil leak, Mitch and the rest of the team had to focus on getting Lucifer to process as much pay dirt as possible before Parker got there from Alaska. To get back on track, the team had to do a lot of work since they were already behind. Even though it had only been a few days since the super stacker failed, time was still against them. Without doubt, Mitch, who you can always count on, took over and drove the super stacker. It was ready to connect to the sluicer, so he drove it down to where it was waiting. This made sure that the pay dirt would flow smoothly to the wash plant. After getting together, the team worked quickly to link the 120-foot super stacker to the slucifer. Everyone on the team knew how important this work was and how important it was to get it done. Mitch carefully led the device to connect with Lucifer, making sure that everything was in the right place. During the process, there was a lot of worry, and everyone on the team held their breath, hoping for a smooth connection. As soon as Mitch ended the call, everyone in the group felt calm. Now that the super stacker was in place, it could help the sluicer do its job well. Once this important task was done, the team could focus on getting more done and making up time they had lost. When the two devices were successfully linked, Mitch and the rest of the team let out a sigh of relief. Especially Mitch was clearly relieved and couldn't hold back his excitement. He let out a happy cry that was heard by everyone in the group, especially Alec. who joined in with his joy. Lastly, they could turn on both gadgets and watch what they did. Because the superstacker stopped, a lot of useful time was lost. The superstacker and the wash plant would have to work longer hours to make up for lost time and get back to the amount of gold they had planned to mine for the week and, by extension, the season. The team was still determined to reach their goal and make the most of the time they had left, even though they had this setback. The rest of the week, no other machines or mine equipment broke down. Parker got back from Alaska and met with his team to plan how to weigh all the gold they had dug up that week. Parker, who was in charge, was interested in what happened to the superstacker. He was interested in how the plug was changed and the oil leak. In his role as Parker's right-hand man, Mitch told him what had happened. The second wash plant, called Big Red, had been running all week. It had been working in the dirt non-stop, getting as much done as possible given their strange situation. Large Red had been sluicing non-stop for a whole week, so it had more work done with the sluicer after the superstacker broke down. Even though they had problems, Mitch and his team were able to solve them and make sure the mining operation went smoothly. When the workers got together to weigh the gold they'd dug up, they felt proud and happy. The gold was weighed and found to be an amazing 1,228.5 ounces, which is worth more than $299. Even though there were some problems, they were able to get this whole result. The staff was glad to hear that, especially since Mitch was having a hard time. Mitch Blaschke has shown many times that he is resourceful, but this event really brought out his best traits. Even though the superstacker failed in a way that no one expected, Mitch was able to fix things and make the team successful. Mitch's efforts to the gold rush were very important, and he is now known as an important figure in the gold mining industry. He has a loyal following and is looked up to by people all over the world who want to become gold miners because he can deal with problems and get amazing results. What Mitch Blaschke has been through on Gold Rush has been nothing short of amazing, but he does more for the show than just mine for gold. Fans often want to know where and what Mitch is doing when he's not digging. Mitch is very active on social media, which shows that he stays busy even when the season is over. His wife Haley just told everyone that they are going to have another child, which will make their family bigger. On Instagram, Haley has been posting sneak peeks of her pregnancy, such as a cute picture of her baby bump. In addition to his work on Gold Rush, Mitch has looked for other ways to connect with music fans. His Cameo account is one example of this. It lets his fans ask for personalized notes from him. Mitch has a great rating of 4.98 out of 5 on the site, with great reviews praising his loyalty and friendliness despite the demands of the program. Mitch likes to race snowmobiles and cars when he's not working on Gold Rush, as his bio on Discovery's website says. These hobbies not only show how daring he is, but they also give him more depth as a person, showing a different side of the hard-working miner we see on TV. It's great that Mitch is dedicated to both his family and his work. Even though it's hard for him to be a parent and a miner at the same time, Mitch always finds time for his fans and his love. Managing all of his responsibilities with style and drive shows what kind of person he is and how hard he works. We all know that Mitch Blaschke's time on Gold Rush has been nothing less than amazing. Mitch's strong dedication and exceptional ability to solve problems have made a lasting impact on mining operations and in the hearts of fans. Even when things got tough, he always rose to the challenge, showing how determined and smart he is. We can't wait to see what Mitch does in the future as he deals with interesting changes in his personal and work life. Don't forget to like, share, and hit the subscribe button if you liked this video and want to see more like it. Thank you for watching.